This is where we're gonna have the fight. This was already talked about on KTLA this morning. And this is going to be Mr. Paul's actually said, I'll try to put the link down below, but it's actually going to be Paul's very, very first authentic fight. Oscar De La Hoya was on KTLA this morning, and he was talking about, because I believe he kind of sponsors this whole thing also, and he's been working with Paul, and he even actually said that this was actually going to be his like real first fight, you know, like everything else. And he's pretty proud of the fact that he's been taking this whole thing very serious and training as hard as that he has. And he kind of made some comments leading to Tyson's fight and everything, and I was like, oh dude, you're kind of like really talking some serious smack, some truth. But he says, you know, compared to the Tyson fight, you know, he says the guy's like old and everything else, and even when he came out, he stumbled. They were talking about Tyson, just, he doesn't have the legs, he never had the legs for that sort of stamina. It was always upper chest, upper body, but still a lot more fucking dangerous than anything. Who would want to get hit by him, right? So yeah, and this was gonna be the big shindig, so thought I'd just check it out. Hurry up tomorrow for the movie. This is a good chunk of real estate to be owned by someone. Fill the boot. Fill the boot. Dude, time just goes by too fast. I don't think I've been out here for a week. The Spider-Man character, he's grabbing my shoulder. He's like, hey, you want a picture? I'm like, dude, I'm a regular. Oh, don't. Damn, it's thick today. Oh, there's a press conference here too. There's I'm seeing special Funko figures with little mini beanies around the box. Beanie size Funko hats. Oh, this poor guy. I wonder what that was from. I want a Funko. I want a free Funko. Pick from all sorts of colors. Megas! Oh no! ever mention the time when there used to be a canopy that aligned along here, a red canopy? It went through, I think, 2 or 3 different changes, but then sometime, like, you think in the 90s, they took the canopy off. I honestly don't know why, but maybe it was just too much of an upkeep. It was cloth. It was beautiful, but it gave the Chinese theater a certain something that Hollywood was still reminiscent of Hollywood, old Hollywood, that is. But yeah, no, it was so different. I'll try to better angle, and it used to just come out right just to the edge of the sidewalk, or before the sidewalk begins. I don't know, it was maybe 4 feet wide, but it was nice. You bastards! And then the fountains, they used to work. These were wishing well type of fountains. See, there's even actually some ancient money from old Hollywood, long ago. Wow. Yeah, but it was pretty cool though. All of this was someone's doing something over here. More of a showpiece back then, and then they had the lights, which I don't know if they do or not in the evening. Pretty certain they might. We'll just go ahead and say yes. But with the lights coming down, also just shining on the canopy, was really cool. It was just beautiful. It was just a lot more to give that tourism. I dare say that people actually preferred it. Should do a poll and see. They would finance it to bring back the canopy. I would say people would probably go for it. But the Chinese theater, when it had the canopy, was just so much nicer. It's getting chilly again. I like the sculptors. There's a couple here. One over here, and I think one over on the other side. But I like the sculptors because they really are sculpting. It's actually a little bit nicer than the caricatures. So in case you haven't heard, it was announced that California has seen a dramatic drop in crimes all across the board. And Newsom is taking like a big bow for that, you know. Our implementations of everything has been working and like that. But on his train, boy. Hey, on his train. And yeah, no, I mean, they're reading off the, you know, like petty theft, and then they're getting up the ladder to like the higher crimes and stuff like that. And then they got to larceny. Oh, a dramatic drop in larceny. Really? It's kind of funny that you would mention larceny. I think a lot of the California politicians are just like smiling. See? It'll take the focus off the dirty stuff that we've done. Yeah, I don't think so. The bigger thing is, though, if this whole thing with the Menendez brothers gets to the point where it's going to be the governor's decision, because that's ultimately what might happen back and forth at least a couple of times. And if it lands on Newsom's desk, he will sign it just to appease the California rich sector. Kind of, it's weird. But he doesn't, reminds me of a Hot Wheel. Make no mistake, he will try to run, but he's not really favored. He's too much of a clown. I mean, especially, just go to YouTube Go to Instagram, go to TikTok, and just search for Newsom's estate, California at the hands of Newsom. Results of Newsom's work. Oh man, you'll see nothing but, well, where I was. It never gets old. You gotta ask anyone that lives around here, that walks these streets. Does it ever get old? Do you ever get tired of looking at all this? No. People just... And the real hardcore people will tell you exactly which star is where. Those kind of people I love. I used to come down this street about 5-6 days a week. Coming down this way, south. This was part of my route. When I still had my truck, shortly after moving here from, moving to Studio City from Tahoe. In case I haven't mentioned, I wish I still lived in Studio City. This used to be a dispensary right here. This whole place used to be a lot more livelier before I got married the first time. I can't even remember the name of the place now, but that used to be a hell of a club. It was a gentleman's club, or simply saying it was a titty bar. Or a titty lounge. They had not a bad buffet, but we used to have a lot of work meetings, because we worked just down the street over here, over by what's the farmers market, and I think there was a fast food place over here. But no, we used to have business meetings all over Hollywood, Los Angeles, and the Valley, and everything. Good gig. It was fun. One of the best places that we used to go, especially after work, wind down. I know, it's like, we're gonna travel how far? Burbank Bar and Grill. We used to have an account with them. We did a lot of their printing. We did their menus and stuff like that. And so we'd go. We had to credit an account. The company did, so we used to go over there a lot. Damn great Cadillac margaritas, I must say. And the other secondary place that we used to go, further towards, well, it's not too far from here. It's almost like in WeHo, just in the early part of WeHo. And that was the Formosa Cafe. Another great place for margaritas and stuff like that. Great martinis, great gin martinis. But yeah, this place used to, I know, it doesn't look, oh, the old 7-Eleven is gone. I think that was a troubled spot. This place has really changed a lot. Now I'm kind of confused. I don't remember if it was over here or over there that it was a 7-Eleven. I almost think it was over on that side. But this whole place was pretty bustling too. This was the way we'd come down from work and everything. And I think there was a club or something over here that my ex-wife's friend was a band member. Actually, she never eluded, she never mentioned She says, oh yeah, friend. And whenever I found out as time went on, you know when you find out that's about someone. Basically, it's like she had dated the guy a couple of times. I think he was a drummer or a keyboardist or something. But anyway, yeah, no, this whole place was so much more fucking A. You know what? Even the most like desolate areas of a city are just really fucked up. God, it's kind of sad. It doesn't seem like that long ago. It's been what, shit, 24 years? Fuck, I guess that's a lot that can happen in 24 years, but this whole section that I've just been filming and everything used to be so much more livelier and everything, especially that club. I don't think it was just, a place where guys would just go and, be all dirty pervs and everything. Here in this area, especially in Southern California, if anything, and I've mentioned this because the most famous place that I ever saw the transitioning happen was over at a club by LAX on Aviation Boulevard, and it was called the Wild Goose. And especially right around 10 o'clock in the morning through about 2 p.m. and then again later in the evening, there were actually a lot of businesses. I'll say it, both legal and non-legal. But a lot of these business meetings that were being held were by women. I mean, not chicks, but women. I mean, properly businessly attired and everything, and acting all proper and stuff like that. But yeah, no, the execs having whatever meetings. And as one gets older and stuff like that, you start to see things. And see, feminists think, oh, women are such the victim. En contraire, it's the women that would arrange these business meetings at said strip bars wherever in LA, because she would know that it's the best place to loosen up a guy, especially if he's an older guy. And the guy's and I've seen this happen with a guy kind of looking around, oh, we're at a titty bar, being headed up by this lady and everything. They get a little uncomfortable, and soon after, they're $20, they're flying everywhere. But no, so little Miss Kitty, it's not as timid as one would think. So no, this whole feminist movement has just been a bunch of bullshit. A lot of bullshit. Computer guy collecting all these things. We got people that collects everything, especially shopping carts and these things, and then delivering them. So depending on, I guess, whoever the company is or however it works, they round them up, they take them back, do a little maintenance, charge them up, and then put them back wherever, I don't know, wherever they're supposed to be put, stationed throughout cities. They are annoying though. So the very crazy and fucked up Governor Gavin Newsom has shifted the blame of California's economy, especially for that person that posted, the average household income, and everybody's so much happier in California, and you posted, the numbers and everything. Now, you do realize that wherever got your fucking information was definitely from a left-leaning source, because it favors. It doesn't show the real numbers. Come on, people. So he blamed all of a sudden the tariffs starting. That all the tariffs are to blame for California's economy shortfall. After all the media's posted, oh, California's like really great and everything. $24 billion that are unaccounted for the homeless. And where to go? 2 people that you look for? Well, 3 actually. That's Gavin Newsom, Kamala. Well, Nancy actually, and Karen Bass. Gavin and Karen Bass. That is the most absolute place to start. And then whomever, the little scummy parties, judges, and other little people that are involved here and there taking their cuts, and whatever their companies are and bases and everything else that take their all that money that was spent on homelessness, and we still sit ugly. And then Gavin Newsom turns around and says, "No, you guys, the cities are now highly responsible for getting rid of the homeless." With what money? You took it all. Oh, it looks kind of familiar here. That's because this is where the farmers market is. Starts up that way, comes this way, goes that way, heads up this way, and then it runs back down this way. Looks a lot different, huh, when there's no people and without all the booths and everything else and the musicians playing. Still a lot of jibber jabber about this place. It's definitely not gonna get torn down, but they could have the rest of that shit. They should have never built that. Just keep the dome and bring back those expensive lavore screens. Used to be other plaques here. I don't know why they took them or if they were stolen. Same thing over on that side of the sidewalk. Reminds me of Tupperware or something. Sunset and Vine. Hollywood Boulevard that way. The Americana.